So in this video, we'll take a look at some of the measuring tools for measuring distances and areas and even coordinates. So again, we're just in the kind of view mode, and over in the upper left on the panel, you've got this inquiry tool. It looks like a ruler. If I select that, you'll see that I can choose distance, area by entity, area by point, or coordinates. Let's start with distance. So I'm going to click on the distance command. And I'm going to come in using my wheel mouse. So using the zoom tools that we just took a look at, I can zoom in and let's go ahead and measure an object. So if let's try that distance. So if I left click, you can see I've got some snaps. So my e-snaps are on. And if you look at this command here, you can see that it's got endpoint, midpoint, enter, perpendicular, and so on. So you can see it's snapping to the object at those particular points. You can see it even gives you a tooltip. So that would be like the midpoint of that arc. So if I pick that midpoint, you can see down here, it's showing me that midpoint. All right. So I'm just going to pick where and snap to the endpoint here. And then I can come over here and snap. If I zoom in, I can snap to that endpoint there. So when it says endpoint, I'm going to left click. And it gives me a distance of 18, which is what we really expect, right? Also, it's showing you your angle, and then your angle in the XY plane, your delta X and your delta Y. So give you a little bit more information than just a straight line delta or a straight line distance. If I hold my shift key down and right click, what I can do is turn off some of those other objects. So if I pick midpoint again, it's only picking the midpoint. See how it's not snapping to the endpoint there? So if I pick on that, go distance, it snaps to the endpoint by default because those snaps are turned on down here. But if I shift right click, I can choose different filters. So I can just do a point X or endpoint, midpoint, intersection. We'll talk about these snaps in another video showing you how they all work. But if I was to pick center, I can snap to the center of that circle. And then I could come and pick the quadrant point, and it tells me how long or how big that circle is. So it's giving me a distance as well. The other option is to get an area by entity. So if I come in here and I pick a closed object or closed entity, so let's zoom in and see if this building pad, if it doesn't have a closed building pad. So let's do the concrete pad. So if I pick that outer line on the concrete pad, you'll see that it gives me both the area and perimeter. So it's 720 square units. Because I know this drawing's in feet, it's actually square feet. If you know that you're in meters, it would be square meters. So I'm going to click close on that. And then I'm going to do the same thing, but with the area by point. So this one, again, you're going to snap to a corner, and then we'll snap to the other corner, and you can see that it's kind of shading it in green. So as I come down here and grab that one and then grab this one, and to close this, to kind of get your area, you're just going to hit the enter key, and you can see it's giving me the total area. So it's just giving me a 720 square unit area for that concrete pad. So I just press the enter key to get that answer. The last inquiry tool is the coordinates. So if I click coordinate and I want to know what the coordinate of that, let's pick something here. The coordinate of that pad is, I pick their endpoint, it gives me the X, Y, and the Z value. So this does have the Z information to it. If I wanted to know maybe what this property corner is, so this cyan line here is a property corner. So I can pick the inquiry tool, coordinates, make sure you got that coordinate or your cursor looking like the little X with the red and green lines. And I can pick the end of this point right here, and that's the property corner. So I could take that and I could bring it into uh, uh, you know Trimble Business Center, or bring it into Trimble Siteworks as a control point if I wanted to stake out that particular corner. So those are the inquiry tools for measuring distance and area. And again, I'm showing you how the snaps work, but I'm going to show you in greater detail when we get into some of the drawing and editing in the following videos.